Donald Trump has just warned Iran that more deaths of American soldiers will carry a heavy price. 3 U.S. servicemen have been killed in the region over the past few days. In a post on his Truth Social platform, Trump said, "Every time Iran kills an American soldier, they will pay for that killing many times over." This directive has been passed on to Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff Daniel Kane, and every leader in the military. In Iran, there have been explosions in Shiraz, the country's cultural capital. It comes as the U.S. and Iran have been exchanging strikes for more than a week, while insisting that they're both open to negotiations. More than 50 Iranians have been killed since the latest escalation began 9 days ago. Iran has been attacking its Gulf neighbors, targeting their military and civilian infrastructure. Let's go now to our chief U.S. correspondent, Alan Fisher, who's live for us at the White House. Alan, so we just heard now from the U.S. president that every time Iran kills an American soldier, they will pay many times over. What more did Trump say there on Truth Social?
Well, you kind of gave the detail of all that's on Truth Social that he posted just in the last 20 minutes. He's been in the Oval Office for the last couple of hours. Obviously, he received an update over the weekend about the death of the 3 American service personnel. He did describe it as very sad, said that they were working towards making sure Iran never has another nuclear weapon. Let me clarify that, never has a nuclear weapon. And he said that they continue with the operations that they were bombing Iran that night. So clearly he believes that this is going to be an operation that is going to continue for some considerable time to avenge the death of the 3 service personnel.
So, Alan, there are these reports about the U.S. sending additional fighter jets, refueling planes to the Middle East. Does this mean that the conflict is now going to escalate even further?
Well, there's been nothing official that has suggested that that's actually happening. But certainly the US is moving its forces into place to give the president options. Among the options would be to continue doing what they're doing just now, but that's not moving the needle. Then they could impose the blockade again, and already the US military has said in the last couple of hours that they've stopped a number of ships from getting in or coming out of Iranian ports. Remember, Donald Trump believed that Operation Economic Freedom was a huge success in forcing Iran to the negotiating table. It put them under severe economic pressure. And another idea that, of course, is being considered is expanding the military operations there. And there's a number of options there. One is to continue targeting the Republican Guard, also to make sure that military installations, both on the coast and further inland, are taken out to reduce the threat to American bases, American personnel, and also global shipping. Or there is a possibility, and they're talking about this, of putting troops on the ground. But the death of the 3 service personnel over the weekend has certainly reminded the US of what a difficult task that would be and the risks that it carries. Now, there's also some talk that the US is talking about allies to see if they could be involved in some sort of ground operation. That hasn't been a successful tactic that has been used throughout this war by the United States. Allies have simply walked away. But it's clear that the United States is giving the president options, that he can gear up this military operation, that he can consider what happens next. There's an issue with it as well, though, that the United States used a lot of armaments, a lot of bombs, a lot of weapons in the first part of this war. The supply chain hasn't quite caught up, so they're not quite in a place where they could launch a massive assault on Iran, but they could still do a lot of damage militarily.
That's Jazeera's chief U.S. correspondent, Alan Fisher, reporting live from the White House. Alan, thank you so much.